Sophia Bekele. I'm standing here in our Nairobi office of DotConnectAfrica, which is the organization that is to sponsor and operate the .Africa top-level domain name. And I'm standing here in front of you to announce the Yes2dotAfrica campaign, which we have already done so last September in Nairobi, but we're going around the continent right now and introducing the campaign to countries located all over Africa.
Africa rising, can you feel it? We are one. You see it, we are rising. Can you feel it? We are rising.
The mission of the Yes campaign as well is based on threefold. One is really to brand African products and services to a regional and continental level. And second is to create that, what we call the Generation Africa, the next generation of Africans that will be empowered using the internet and building products and services on the internet based on what they define is the next generation applications. And the third is really, we plan to reinvest the monies that we get out of the registration back to fulfill the needs of other projects that come out in Africa, because our business model is a non-profit model, and so therefore this is the aim of running a non-profit organization to put the surplus back there. So we're very excited on these three principal reasons of why we're doing the Yes campaign.
I think it's a noble idea. I think it unites Africans.
Okay.
We need to have our own
domain
as well, so that within our domain we are trying to tell the rest of the world that look, this is what is happening in Africa.
I think it's something that can unite us, as said. It's something that can unite us as Africa, and we need that.
Currently, internet users in the Pan-African and African region only have the option of utilizing generic top-level domain name whose registrants are really dominated by US and European individuals and businesses, and a country code domain name like the KE and .ZA or .ET like Ethiopia that are intended for local use. For .Africa, we get the opportunity actually to show a horizontal perspective of branding. And then the other thing we've proposed really is so that .Africa doesn't come as so intimidating to Africa over the CCTLDs, which is as I mentioned, the national CCTLDs like .KE or .ZA, because those have not really developed well in the last 10 years since they've been issued. And so what .Africa really did was trying to do a cross-marketing of the domain name so that there's an opportunity to have a .ZA, .Africa, which shows the identity of a South African with Africa, and so forth, to show that Africa in a united voice and to really promote products and services, saying we are at a continental level. And also it supports the goal of regional and continental integration of the national CCTLDs, as people are trying to identify and cross over to do trade and economics and move around, movement of goods and services. So the identity they carry within their domain says a lot about where they do business.
My name is Zain Khan. I'm the president of a consulting group in Toronto called Alliances Consulting Group. And I'm also currently a board member of the African Center for Mobile Financial Inclusion, and recently been elected as the chairperson for the Eastern African Country. I think the genesis of DotAfrica is something Africa needs. I think it's part of Africa growing up. And I think you have enabled Africa growing up. And I do hope that organizations within Africa and globally recognize this effort and make sure that they provide you the impetus as well as the approvals.
This is a genuine cause. Therefore, as an African or African nations or African innovators from a technology point of view, this is something that we should go for.
To create that identity. Identity is the most important thing.
Yeah, the identity.
And also help create the urge. You know, it's like a generation.
Okay.
It's like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, when .com came, it was worldwide.
Yes.
We need to identify ourselves. This is Africa.
It's a good idea, basically.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Because we are used to the .com and the CEO, .k.
Yeah.
But we've been actually depending on the West.
Yes, for a lot of
So
things.
long.
Right,
If
so.
even right now, if you create something and you give it a .com, someone thinks it's from Europe. And, you know, it's an African idea. So we'll also sell ourselves as Africa.
All I ask finally is that on behalf of DCA, we would like to ask the African people, the African community, and the African governments for their support in our initiative. We're very excited. We're African diaspora. We're trying to come back to our continent and try to do something good. Trust our initiative and just follow us. Give us feedback. If you feel confused, if you have questions, you can communicate to us on our website or on our social media site. We're willing to work with Africa. Please, Africa, work with us. Thank you so much.